Hello and welcome to required exercise 3. Today we're going to make a bracket. You'll start off in this basic sketch plane or your work plane and you're going to go, wait a minute, this doesn't look like all the other times I did this. And that is because this guy right here has your view planes, your work planes are hidden. So this little eyeball right here allows you to hide and show things. And sometimes you do want to hide things so that you can work behind them and see things better, but I don't see why you would want those work planes to be hid. So there we are. There's also a copy of the PDF document that tells you what we're doing today. I'm going to start off by making this sketch. I'm going to add in some dimensions. I'm going to then add in some lines on the side, and it's going to be real important that we put those in a specific way to save you a lot of trouble when you get to this part where we define more dimensions. And then once you have that done, actually the hard part of this is drawing the sketch, then we extrude it and we're done. So I am viewing this normal to the front plane, sketch plane, because it's telling me to draw a sketch there. So I'm going to sketch on that plane and grab the line tool. I'm going to make a vertical line going up from the origin, and then I press oh, I didn't have to press escape. Or I might have accidentally pressed escape. Finger touch. Okay. And now I press escape to get out of the line tool because I'm done. Bye-bye line tool. Grab my circle tool. Now the four circles that I'm making right now should be, 3 of them are coincident with these points. See when I hover over that little symbol that pops up? This symbol right here is for coincident. It means put them on the same spot. And so when I make my circle while that is showing up, it will put the center of that circle directly on that spot, which is what I want. And I want this circle to have its center coincident with that point. And if I make the circle here, it would be coincident with the line, but see how that point shines there? It highlights. That means that my circle will be coincident with that point. Now, when I go towards the center of this circle, notice that line right there, that means midpoint. That means that if I made my circle right there, it would be directly in the center of that line, which is a feature we like a lot. But on this diagram, it specifically says, do not do it at the midpoint. So I'm going to hop up enough to where it says coincident. My circle will have its center on that line, but not at the exact center, anywhere but the exact center. All right. I'm going to press check mark on my sketch just because I know that that's going to save the work I've done so far and move on to the next step, which tells me to define some dimensions. I will have to go back into the sketch, and then all these tools that I need will show up because these tools are for sketching. All right, so some dimensions I've been tasked to assign. I grab the dimension tool. If you click a circle while you're in dimension, it's going to say, what do you want the radius to be? Because that's the typical dimension assigned for a circle. Using my mouse, I can pan. So happy I have that. This circle is defined as a radius of, come on, buddy, 0.625. Good. This circle is 1.25. And then it says, be sure to make this circle, I'm still in the dimension tool, so of course all I can do is dimension. Okay, take this circle and make them equal. But I'm going to show you something right now. I'm going to grab this third circle. I'm going to go over here to my tools and I'm going to make all of these equal. I'm telling it to make their radii equal. But I get this red, which is basically OnShape's way of yelling at you and saying, you did something wrong. And what it's saying is, you're telling me to make this circle and this circle equal, but you've already told me this is 0.75 and this is 0.625, and it is not possible to do all those things. So I'm going to delete this one I shouldn't have brought into the equal club. But this guy right here and this guy right here are equal. Notice that when I hover over them, I see that tells me, oh, we already made this equal to something. If I click on that equal, it'll tell me what it's equal to. Very nice. Okay, more dimensions. These are defining the distances on here. So one of the dimensions I've been asked to define is the length of this vertical line. The best way to define the length of the line is to select the points on the ends of the line, and then voila, a dimensioner will show up. 4.5 is the length of that line. Whoa, zoom out with my scrolly bar. Pan over with a, stop it, a right click while pressing control. Love it. Okay, between this line and, I'm sorry, that point and that point, we have a line which is a length of 2.5. Lovely. And then between this point and this point, we have a segment, also known as it. Well, not also known as a line. We have a segment. And that segment is 1.75 inches long. And now I believe I have defined all of the dimensions given in this step. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and press check. It will save my dimensions. And that's good. All right, so now it's time to do these lines on the outside. Here you want to be really careful. I go back to sketch 1 to grab the line tool and make each line coincident with the circle, but nothing else. Notice how if I make a line that's close to horizontal, see that little line there that pops up next to it? It says, if you click now, I'll make you a horizontal line. I wouldn't want it to be horizontal. I'm going to make this line also coincident with this other circle, but nothing else. You'll start to see things like that. That's a tangent constraint. We don't want that to happen yet. So concentric with that circle. Press escape to get out of the line tool so I can start a new line by clicking the line tool. Concentric with that circle, I'm sorry, coincident with that circle, but not vertical, just coincident only. Escape, grab the line tool again. A line that is coincident with that circle and the next. Escape out of the line tool, grab it again. Make a line that's coincident with that circle, meaning they're at the same point, and a line that is coincident with that circle. Escape, grab the line tool again. 2 more lines to make. I'm defining the outsides of my bracket right now. I might not have grabbed the right tool there, which is going to cause trouble there. I hope I did it. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. I hope that we did not. Okay, coincident only. Coincident only. That's not coincident only. There's not coincident only. What? Don't do this to me. Give me a coincident only. You're trying to help me, aren't you? But this is not helpful. Oh well, I'm going to do all I can here. I'm going to make it parallel, but then I can show you. Escape. There are constraints on here. Escape, escape, escape. Stop it. Okay, hover over it. I'm not seeing the constraints on there. That point is concentric and vertical. When I click on it, I can grab that and delete that one I didn't want on there. Okay, good. So now I got what I wanted. And now I'm going to go back and make all of these tangent right here. Get out of the dimension tool. Make all of these lines tangent to one circle at a time. So I'm going to grab that line and grab that circle, and it'll make it tangent. A tangent means it just kisses that circle at one point. So what this is going to do is make it the smoothest transition between a circle and a line. It's just taking a minute to do it because my internet's going slow. So notice what I'm doing now because I have the tangent tool selected. As I select the line and the circle, it's making them tangent. Another way to do this is get out of the tool and say, okay, here's my line, here's my circle, make them tangent. Uh-oh, I didn't like that. But notice how I have this vertical. Oh, no, that's not a problem. This is the one I thought was going to be a problem. So you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to Command Z. I'm going to undo that last thing I did because it's yelling at me. And I know it's this line right here because when I made it, I wasn't paying attention. I'm just going to remake it. Making sure that it is coincident only and coincident only. Escape out of there. Now it's going to behave a little better when I tell it to be tangent. And when I like it better like this. So select the tangent tool and then you can just be like, make that tangent. Make that tangent. Notice as I successfully make this happen that the blue lines are turning into black lines. Black lines mean it's fully defined and it cannot, there's only one way it can exist. And I really want, and if all these lines don't go black, then there's a mistake. Nice. Very nice. Moving right along. Okay, so that's the end of that step. Now I'm going to make 4 additional circles, it says, but really there are 5 circles we have to put in there. It can't count. So 4 of the circles are coincident with the other 4 circles. So I make sure that the coincident symbol pops up. So then I know the center of my smaller circle is going to be right on top of my larger circle. And I click to start the circle, click to finish it. Click to start it, click to finish it. Now there's another circle that's right about right here. Okay. It's going to go ahead and say, yeah, save my work. Okay, go back in. All right, now it says to make all these 5 circles equal. So I just keep clicking on them, hover until the circle I want turns orange, and then click on it. It's nice. It tells me I have 5 things selected. Then I go over here and I press equal, and I make them all equal in size. It does have a little a dimension they snuck in here on me that says this circle, that circle right there is 0.25 inches in radius. And now they're all that distant, they're all that radii, they all have the same 0.25 radius because I made them all equal before this. Everything's fully defined, but this dude right here, I need to define its distance. I need to define its position. I'm going to do that by, gosh, all this stuff's getting a little confusing here. Let me zoom in. By grabbing, okay, dimension tool. I am going to grab the center of that point and this line right here. And that is defined as a distance of 0.125. And then the height or the distance from that point there and this point here is given as 1.438. And notice how now that little circle went black as well, because now its size and its position are completely defined to where no 2 totally different people could make this thing and they would be exactly the same because it's fully defined. All right, I'm actually pretty much done now. I'm going to click extrude and I'm going to select all of the faces of my object, but not the inside of the little circles. Oh, it did tell me to turn those center lines into construction lines earlier, and I didn't do that. So that's why I'm having to select a lot of different parts right here. If I turn those first 2 lines and this line right here and that line right there into construction lines, that would have been a little easier. All right, so right now it's saying taking all the faces that I selected and blindly, which just means in one direction with no end, and except for at 0.12 will be the end. All right, so now I'm going to press, yeah, I like that. And this is my bracket that I just made. If I right click on the part, or just select the part actually, select the part right here and click over here, it'll show me the volume is 0.699 cubic inches. If you make your part exactly like mine, yours will also be 0.699 cubic inches. Thank you very much for joining me today.